left JFK Airport in New York City at 11:20 a.m. and made our way by plane to Dubai, arriving at 7:50. Leaving Dubai at 3 p.m., we flew to our final destination of Cairo, arriving there at 5:50 p.m.
Upon arriving at the Cairo International Airport, we rented our Jeep Cherokee Limited 3.7 by Europe car.
After, we drove to our hotel, the Intercontinental Cairo City Stars.
This place is huge. Yeah, it's so huge. This place is awesome. I love it. Yeah, me too.
Here we go.
We spent quite a few nights in Cairo. The local coffee shop near our hotel was our early morning hero.
To help us better understand the Egyptian culture, we took a tour of the Al-Azhar, the largest Islam mosque in Egypt.
We also visited the Safrana Palace. It witnessed the signing of the Anglo-Egyptian Treaty of 1936 and the founding of the Arab League in 1945. In 1952, it became used to see administrative headquarters for the Ain Shams University.
On our third day in Egypt, we took a 7-hour tour of the pyramids. As of 2011, there are 138 of these structures. We visited 4 of them: the Giza, Sphinx, Memphis, and Saqqara pyramids.
After, we took a relaxing dinner cruise on the Nile River. It is known as the longest river in the world and is a major flowing river in Northeast Africa. It is 6,853 kilometers long.
The next day, we woke up early to take a 7-hour drive to our next destination, Sharm el-Sheikh. On the way, we decided to visit Tel el-Kebir, a famous battle site for the war against the British for Egypt's independence.
During our stay in Sharm, we stayed at Four Seasons Resort in Sharm el-Sheikh.
On our first day in Sharm, we spent the entire day scuba diving in the Red Sea. Did you know that the Red Sea is recognized as one of the leading diving destinations in the world? So, after a full day out on the water, we took a relaxing cruise on one of the hotel's well-known yachts, the MY Virginia, for dinner.
On our next day in Sharm, we rented a boat in the morning so we could get a full tour of what the Red Sea has to offer. For the rest of the day, we decided to take advantage of the hotel's beautiful pools and offered water sports before dinner.
On day 7 of our trip, we checked out of our Four Seasons hotel in Sharm and drove ourselves about an hour to Dahab. We spent the day at the beach and then checked into our hotel called Dahab Paradise for the night.
After our day in Dahab, we drove 7 hours back to Cairo to catch our 1-hour flight to Luxor on Egypt Air. Once we got to Luxor, we took a taxi from the airport to our hotel, the Hilton Luxor Resort Spa.
The next day, we took a tour of the Temple of Luxor for the day. The Luxor Temple was a large ancient Egyptian temple that was founded in 1400 BCE. After our tour of the temple, we ate dinner and then went back to our hotel.
Next morning, we woke up early to catch our Egypt Air flight at 6 in the morning back to Cairo. We took the day to do some shopping and then checked back into our Intercontinental City Stars hotel. After checking in, we did some sightseeing.
After a relaxing day in Cairo, we took a train to Alexandria at 9 a.m., arriving at 11 a.m. While we were at the northernmost city in Egypt, we visited the Villa of the Birds, an ancient Roman mosaic. For the rest of the day, we explored the Borg El Arab Stadium, the biggest soccer stadium in Egypt. We returned to Cairo on the 8 to 11 train.
On day 12, we started our 4-day camel tour of the White Desert. Everything we did for the next 4 days was with our tour group through Badawiya Expedition Travel.
We first rode a minibus out to the starting point of our expedition with our tour group, along with lunch on the way at a local restaurant. After getting acquainted with the handling and riding of the camels, we rode on our camels to Wadi Obaid, where we had dinner and camped out.
How dare you say that mommy hit it?
After breakfast the next day, we rode to Buraq. We spent the day enjoying the impressive landscape of the White Desert, lunch, dinner, and camping.
After eating breakfast, we rode to the White House. On the way, we passed the famous mushrooms and the limestone sculptures. The day also included lunch, dinner, and camping.
I'm coming home to you.
We rode to the main road besides Bir Regwa after breakfast the next day. This is where we caught our minibus to Crystal Mountain. We took a little break while taking in all it has to offer. After this, we rode our bus to the Black Desert and then proceeded to have lunch at a local restaurant in Baharla Oasis. Then we continued our minibus ride all the way to Cairo and arrived.
After coming back to Cairo at sunset on the same night, we arrived just in time to participate in one of the most popular festivals in Egypt, Ramadan. It follows a month-long religious period in which people cleanse themselves. So at the end of the month, they celebrate their freedom.
Placing a smile at the
After 16 days of touring the wonderful country of Egypt, it was finally time to pack up our stuff and head back home to the U.S. Our Emirates flight left at 7:30 a.m., arriving at our connection destination of Dubai at 12:10 a.m. Then after a 2-hour and 40-minute layover, we finally left Dubai at 2:50 a.m. and arriving back home at JFK Airport at 8:25 a.m.
Yes, that's right. 8 men were arrested today after allegedly attending a gay marriage ceremony on the Nile. The court rules defendants endangered public mortality after they appeared in a video following an exchange of vows between two men. Reports show the men have been put in jail for a minimum of 3 years. This is the latest of a series of works against Egypt's gay community. While it is not illegal in Egypt, homosexuality is a social taboo, and allegedly, gay men have often been arrested on charges of immorality.
Were killed when a suicide car bomber struck the checkpoint, and emergency measures were taken as far as a 3-month state of emergency in Egypt. The bombing was executed by a suspected jihadist who smashed the checkpoint with his vehicle packed with explosives. As of now, the attacks reportedly killed 30 soldiers and left 29 wounded. After the attacks, President Sisi announced a 3-day mourning and declared a meeting with the National Defense Council about the killings.
Now, the Egyptian government is considering whether or not to ban the publication of news about its armed forces in the newspaper. Several Egyptian newspapers have said this debate started after the cabinet wrote a draft law that would outlaw coverage of military activity without prior permission from senior military officers. This proposed new law would ban the disclosure of or display of any news, information, statistics, data, or documents relating to the armed forces or its formation, movements, or equipment. This is according to a leaked version of the legislation. This proposed law follows a heap of bans and lack of rights consuming Egypt.
Hundreds of Egyptian journalists in Cairo are objecting the pledge made by newspaper editors to avoid publishing reports that are critical of the government. The journalists protest that this pledge made by their editors said that it was a victory for terrorism. In a rare moment of resistance from the military government, more than 350 journalists signed an online statement responding to their editor's decision. The journalists believe that this pledge will take away from Egyptians' rights and promote terrorism. Now that the newspaper editors and owners of media outlets control the presses and the airwaves, the effects of journalism objections are unclear. As executed by suspect what? Emergency measures. Emergency measures. Oh my god! After 30 soldiers were killed when a suicide. After. Military. I know.